Hello students, let's quickly go through a short summary. In this chapter, we learn how, after the fall of the Mauryan Empire, India entered an age of reorganization, where many new kingdoms rose, fought, traded, and created a rich, shared culture. Around 185 BCE, the Mauryan Empire broke up and former tributary regions became independent kingdoms. The Shungas in north and central India revived Vedic rituals like the Ashwamedha Yajna, encouraged Sanskrit works such as Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and supported early Buddhist art at Barhut. To the south, the powerful Satavahanas ruled much of the Deccan from centers like Pratistana and Amaravati. They grew rich through agriculture in the Krishna-Godavari region and long-distance trade by sea with Rome and West Asia, as seen in their ship coins, cave inscriptions at Nanigat and Karla, and their patronage of Vedic, Jain, and Buddhist traditions. In Kalinga, the Chedi king Karavela built the famous Udayagiri, Khandagiri rock-cut caves and proudly recorded his victories and welfare works in the Hathi Gumfa inscription, highlighting a ruler's duty to support many schools of thought. In the far south, the Cheras, Cholas, and Pandyas remained independent and powerful, forming the backdrop for the Sangam age, whose Tamil poems celebrate love, heroism, and generosity. Chola king Karikala built the Kalanai Grand Anikut on the Kaveri, still helping irrigation today, while the Cheras and Pandyas became major trading and naval powers, dealing in spices, timber, and pearls. At the same time, outsiders entered through the northwest, Indo-Greeks, then Shakas, and finally Kusanas. Indo-Greek rulers left pillars like Heliodorus and coins showing both Greek and Indian deities, proving deep cultural mixing. The Kusanas under Kaniska controlled parts of the Silk Route, boosted international trade, and inspired new art styles. The Gandhara school blended Greco-Roman and Indian features in realistic Buddha images, while the Mathura school used red sandstone and focused on Indian deities like Kubera, Lakshmi, and Shiva. Even though politics were unstable, this period saw intense cultural exchange, flourishing trade, new forms of art and architecture, and the growth of Sanskrit and Tamil literature, including the maturing of great epics like the Mahabharata and Ramayana. Together, these developments show how India constantly reorganized itself and created a shared civilizational heritage out of many different kingdoms and influences. Thank you for watching. Learn smarter and practice better. Download our app.